Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, let's not sugarcoat it. Life is hard, but let me tell you something powerful. Life is hard by design. Not to destroy you, but to develop you. Not to make you quit, but to show you where your strength really comes from. Because if life were easy, you wouldn't grow. And the real tragedy is not that life is hard. The tragedy is that too many people stop trying because it's hard. Life is designed to be hard, not to break you, but to build you. Let's deal with the truth. Life is hard, and that's not a design flaw. That's the design. See, most people believe that difficulty means something's wrong, that when life gets tough, God must be punishing them, or the universe must be against them. But that's not how this works. Hardship isn't a curse. It's a calling. It's the process by which you're forged into who you're meant to become. Think about it. Everything valuable in life comes through resistance. Muscles grow through tension. Diamonds form under pressure. Character is developed not when it's easy, but when it's inconvenient, when it's painful, when you don't feel like doing the right thing, but you do it anyway. Life being hard is not a reason to retreat. It's your invitation to rise. The problem is, we've been conditioned to expect comfort. We think growth should feel good. But personal development is not a spa treatment, it's more like surgery. It cuts, it exposes, and yes, it hurts, but it heals, it elevates, it upgrades you. Psychologically, your brain is wired to avoid pain and conserve energy. But spiritually and intellectually, you're built to overcome. That's the paradox. You were designed to endure the very thing your mind resists. And if you run from the hard, you run from the harvest. You can't be forged if you won't face the fire. Life is hard because you are meant to be strong. You don't get stronger by wishing things were easier. You get stronger by becoming the kind of person who can handle hard. Ease is a liar. Difficulty is the real developer. You must shift from victimhood to ownership. Nothing changes until you do. One of the greatest lies we've been sold is that someone else is responsible for where we are. That if our childhood had been different, if our parents had loved us more, if our boss gave us that promotion, then we'd be further ahead. But let me challenge you. As long as you keep assigning responsibility to something outside of you, you give away the power to change. Ownership is the price of transformation. And until you pay that price, nothing in your life will shift. Now, I'm not saying you caused everything that happened to you, but I am saying that what happens next is entirely on you. There's a psychological principle called locus of control. It describes whether people believe life happens to them or through them. Those with an external locus believe they're victims of circumstance. Those with an internal locus believe they're architects of change. And the difference between surviving and thriving, it lives in that shift. Philosophically, we've got to stop looking for someone to blame and start becoming someone to build. The moment you stop pointing fingers and start asking, what can I learn? What can I do? Who must I become? That's the moment your life begins to move. Because power doesn't come from perfection. Power comes from ownership. That's when the game changes. You can't fix what you keep blaming. Transformation begins the moment you take responsibility. Pain is feedback. It's not punishment. It's a teacher. Most people misunderstand pain. They think pain means punishment. They think it's the universe saying, you're not good enough, you failed. But pain isn't punishment. Pain is feedback. It's the internal signal that something in your life, your habits, or your mindset needs attention. And if you ignore that feedback, you keep repeating the same cycles. Different people, same patterns. Different jobs, same frustration. Different year, same results. Psychologically, pain is a messenger. It's information, not condemnation. It shows up to alert you, to wake you up, and like any teacher, it'll keep assigning you the same lesson until you learn it. If you keep experiencing rejection, maybe it's not just about them walking away. Maybe it's about you needing to walk into your own worth. If you keep hitting financial walls, maybe that pain is trying to push you toward discipline, strategy, and stewardship. And philosophically, this is what separates wise people from wounded people. Wounded people internalize pain, they see it as identity. Wise people interpret pain, they see it as instruction. That shift in meaning is everything, because when you start to ask, what is this pain trying to teach me? Instead of why is this happening to me, that's when growth begins. That's when healing starts. You can't always control the pain you experience, but you can control the meaning you assign to it. Pain doesn't come to stop you, it comes to shape you. Listen to it, learn from it, and then lead through it. Skill development is your escape from struggle. Invest in yourself daily. Let's be clear. Your life will not rise higher than your level of personal development. It doesn't matter how much potential you have. If your skills can't support your dreams, your vision will collapse under its own weight. Skill development is not optional. It's the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. And that bridge is built daily, not someday. Psychologically, we crave progress. But many people confuse movement with improvement. They're busy, but not better. They're active, but not advancing. The reason, they're not intentional about growth. They expect to be promoted without preparation. They want abundance without increasing their capacity to handle it. But life doesn't give you what you wish for, it gives you what you're qualified for. And qualification comes through process. Now, I'm not just talking about acquiring more information. You can have all the books and still be broke. I'm talking about transformation, where what you learn becomes part of who you are. Where discipline becomes a habit, where leadership becomes instinct, where your mindset gets upgraded so your behavior follows. Philosophically, the world doesn't change when your circumstances shift. It changes when you shift. Because your reality is always a reflection of your internal structure. So if you want more, become more. Sharpen your gifts, stretch your skills, master your craft. That's how you break through. Stop waiting for life to reward you. Start preparing yourself to receive what you're asking for. The quality of your input determines the quality of your output. Guard your mind. Everything you do flows from one source, your mind, and yet most people spend more time curating their social media feed than protecting their mental environment. Let me say this as plainly as possible. If you don't guard what goes in, you cannot control what comes out. Your beliefs, your behavior, your decisions, even your self-worth. These are all downstream of your inputs. Psychologically, the brain is a pattern recognition machine. It absorbs what it sees and hears, and then builds your internal world around it. That means if all you feed it is fear, comparison, gossip, and distraction, don't be surprised when your life starts to reflect confusion, anxiety, and stagnation. Garbage in, garbage out, that's not just a tech phrase. That's a spiritual principle. Philosophically, every great transformation begins with a renewal of the mind. You cannot plant weeds and pray for fruit. You've got to be intentional about your influences, what you read, what you watch, who you listen to, and who you allow into your inner circle. Because the quality of your life is shaped by the quality of your thoughts, and your thoughts are shaped by your inputs. If you want clarity, feed your mind truth. If you want courage, feed it faith. If you want excellence, feed it discipline. Because what you consume consistently, you eventually become. Your future is being formed by what you're feeding your mind today. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. Success doesn't respond to feelings, it responds to principles. Let me give you something most people never hear in a culture obsessed with feelings. Your emotions are not the highest authority in your life. Your principles are. Too many folks wait until they feel motivated to start, feel confident to lead, or feel inspired to take action. But success doesn't respond to your feelings, it responds to your discipline. If your actions are ruled by your moods, your outcomes will be ruled by inconsistency. Psychologically, we are wired for comfort and safety. Your brain will default to whatever is easiest and most familiar, even if it's destructive, just to avoid discomfort. But transformation lives in the uncomfortable. That's why you can't live by how you feel. You have to live by what you decide. Principles anchor you when emotions try to mislead you. They are the guardrails that keep you on course when everything in you wants to turn back. Philosophically, the most powerful life you can live is one governed by values, not vibes. Character isn't built when you feel like doing the right thing. Character is built when you do the right thing even when every part of you resists it. That's the difference between a wish and a standard. A wish fades with emotion. A standard lives through storms. So, don't ask, do I feel like it? Ask, what is required of me right now? Your feelings are temporary. Your principles shape your legacy. Choose them wisely and live by them daily.